So here's a long overdue video. I think I said I would do this like a month ago, but a lot of procrastination later, and here I am 1 month later into April, and I'm now ready to give you guys a detailed parts list for the Enduro e-bike build that I like to do and that you guys love so much. Without further ado, if you haven't already, make sure to go ahead, hit that subscribe button so that I can do more videos like this. Like this video because I know you'll like it. Leave a nice comment down below so I know you're still there. Let's get right into it. Now, what I forgot to mention in that little intro I just did is that this channel just hit 2,000 subscribers a few days ago. I think it was last Thursday we hit 2,000, and that was like a 70 subscriber day. I think before that, the most subscribers I'd gotten was like 27 to 30. I don't know, I haven't checked, but you know, it was something that was less than half of that, and then all of a sudden we had 70 subscribers in one day. Totally insane. So to all of you new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. I'll try not to disappoint you, and to all of the subscribers that have stuck with this channel as long as I've been making videos, thank you even more, because then you can brag in the future when I have 1 million subscribers that you are subscribed to me first. So keep that in mind. Let's get into the video. So for this bike, there's about 20 separate things that you have to order in order to get it built like I have mine. And we're going to start off with the frame, because you build your bike around your frame, and this bike is not an Enduro e-bike without the Enduro e-bike or stealth bomber frame, like a lot of people like to call it. Now, the frame I got was from eBay. It's a pretty popular one, mostly just for being one of the cheaper ones out there. It's not a bad frame. It's actually a pretty high quality frame. The only complaint is it's heavier than a lot of the other frames that are more skeleton frames with like plastic filling in the gaps, but it gets the job done, and you definitely can like cut out pieces of the frame and do some 3D printed panels, maybe. But yeah, no, it's a great frame, and it's for $355, not including shipping. Now, mind you, it used to be $290 when I got my frame, but it has jumped in price, and a lot of these things have jumped in price, either forwards or backwards actually, since I ordered the parts for my e-bike originally. But yeah, so I definitely recommend this frame. Link down below, and this is what it looks like. Let's get to the motor kit. Alright, so the motor kit I got for this bike included a QS 205 motor, a Sabaton 72 150 amp controller, and everything in between. The LCD screen, the throttle, all of the buttons, even some cheap Chinese brakes, which, mind you, actually work pretty well if you get some good brake pads in there. Now, this motor kit costs $700 and then $950 with shipping and taxes, which I think is a pretty good deal. Now, basically, to get this motor kit, I contacted the supplier at MB Power. Their WhatsApp is right here on the screen. I basically just asked, hey, can I get a motor kit with a QS205 motor, a Sabaton 72 150 amp controller, and everything else? And they're like, yeah, we got you. And they gave me a price for it and everything. Now, I did pay for premium shipping to get the motor kit to my place, and it took 3 days, which is excellent. But I honestly don't recommend paying for fast shipping, because let's say one thing out of all of your parts gets caught in a shipping delay and takes like maybe a month or so to get to your place. It doesn't matter if you paid for fast shipping, because you're not going to be able to ride the bike if that one part is delayed. So that's just my 2 cents. But moving on to the battery, it's the exact same way. Same WhatsApp number. You just tell them, hey, can I get a 72 volt 40 amp hour battery with a 150 amp BMS? They'll say no problem. The battery costs $1,470. That includes a 10 amp charger, and I believe that price also includes shipping. Now, you can also go the route of building your own battery. I was hooked on this idea for a little while, but I sort of shied away from it. Now, doing this, the advantage of doing this is what cells are in your battery. You also know what BMS is in your battery. You also learn how to build batteries, which I can see being a seriously good skill to have. I got shied away from this. I was like, okay, this is my first e-bike build that I'm doing, so I just decided to play it safe and buy a battery. This battery is absolutely fantastic. I think I can get like 45 miles of range out of it, probably max. I went all the way to the San Ynez River and back to my place, which was like a 35-mile ride. I think I had like 35% battery left, or at least it said I did, which I think is a win in my book. So yeah, definitely I'm thinking 40 to 50 miles, depending on how you ride with this 40 amp battery. Now, of course, you can customize it. You can maybe get a 45 amp hour or a 50 amp hour battery. They come in all shapes and sizes. Maybe you can ask for a larger BMS, depending on what build you're looking to do. Yeah, customizable battery. And I got mine for $1,470, including everything that comes with it. So next up, let's talk about the suspension. Now for the rear shock, we have a D&M RCP2 burner shock, and this is a pretty good one for a good price. I got mine for this bike for about $120. They may have gone up in price though, because it seemed like there was sort of a shortage of them, because a lot of the ones that I saw were listed for like $180, and I think I found one for $134 on eBay, which I swiftly bought because it was the cheapest one I could find. Now when I built my first bike, this wasn't the case. It was really easy to find these shocks. So mind you, it might cost more than what I bought mine for, but I'll find the best link I can for you guys. And I think it's about $130, but I'll put the price for the one that I find on the screen. Now for the front forks, yeah, I went with the old Zoomies. I said I wouldn't, but they're just the cheapest option out there, and they're really not that bad if you install them properly. I used to rant about how much I hated them, but honestly, because I mostly just ride on the road, they really don't bother me at all. Now, there's a lot of better options out there, like the D&M Volcanoes, which I hear are really, really good for the price. They're like $500. But if you're looking to budget a little bit, you can get the Zooms, and they work perfectly fine. Although, if you have any problems with that, they're cheap forks. I mean, what are you going to do? Alright, so now we're at a cool total of $3,130. There really isn't much more that costs over $100, or I don't think there's anything that costs over $100 from here on out. So next up, the seat. Now, a lot of people have seen the reviews on Amazon for this one seat, apparently, where they're saying it's absolute dog crap. And they wouldn't pay over $30 for it. Now I have this one seat on eBay that I found for $85, which I'm using on this bike. Same seat that I got previously for my original Enduro e-bike, actually for a better price. It's great quality. I mean, I don't know anything about welds, okay? I've never welded anything in my life, but it seems really sturdy, holds my weight just fine, the seat's comfortable, have no problems with it. So I'll leave that link down below for you guys, $85. That's going to bring our total to $3,210. The handlebars I'm using for this bike go by the brand name of Upan Bike. They are 720 millimeters wide by 50 millimeters tall, and I think they work great for this bike. But you can put any handlebars you'd like on these. Really, it doesn't matter. It's all up to preference whether you want your handlebars to be wide or narrow. It's up to you. These ones I think are a great option for only $20. So if you're not sure which handlebars you want, just go ahead and get these. It's a safe bet. Now a lot of people have been asking where I got the front wheel for this bike from, and I have an answer for you. Remember how I said I contacted NB Power directly to get my motor kit as well as the battery? Same thing with the front wheel. You get the wheel, which includes the rim and the tire, all for $300. I think it's a pretty good price because it's a really, really high quality front wheel. So yeah, that's where you get it from. Same WhatsApp number, just ask them. Alright, so right there I basically went over all of the main parts that might need some explaining, for you guys to be able to get the right stuff. But there's a few more small things left, like the disc rotors, the disc rotor spacers, the headset bearings, the headset spacers for the steer tube. What else? The pedals, the cranks that I'm using, the chain, as well as the chain tensioner. But all of this stuff really doesn't need much explaining. I can just leave links for you guys, and it's very self-explanatory from there. So all the links for everything will be down in the description below. I'll make sure not to miss anything for you guys. So yeah, that's the parts list for this bike. Really not a whole lot of parts for this thing when you really think about it. They're very simple. Now, of course, you can do things like add lights and stuff to them. I didn't do that for this bike. kept it simple. And I think if you're doing a first build, that's a good way to do it. Without further ado, if you haven't already, make sure to go ahead, hit that subscribe button, because this channel is awesome. Like this video, leave a nice comment down below, and I'll make sure to see you guys in the next one. Later.